Hey everybody, welcome to Dead True Podcast. My name's Jimmy.
Hey, it's Casey.
Don.
It's Don.
And you gotta say Steven.
You totally ruined that, Don.
I'm sorry.
Don started smoking. The voice got raspy.
How's everybody doing tonight, guys?
Doing good.
Threw that softball to Don, and Don struck out on him.
I know. I was like, what? I didn't know Steven was like saying, go next.
Like, wow. That was funny.
Who all watched? I mean, we ain't going to talk about it because it's spoilers, but who all watched the episode? I kind of did. I was working too, so I couldn't really watch it all, but I watched most of it.
So I'm the only one on the show that ain't sacrilegious, right?
Hey, I was going to hang in there.
Me.
Wow. I think Dustin sent divorce papers to Dawn, right?
Yeah, he said I was going to hell. He said I was going to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a divorce reason right there, I guess. You watch an episode before your husband. But it is what it is, I guess.
I might as well not watched it. I'm with you, Jimmy. I wasn't able to, like, pay attention.
Right.
Well,
oh, yeah.
Too busy over there. Go ahead.
I heard
I'm
there
sorry.
was a Talking Dead episode last night. Maria,
was
mentioning. Yeah, so instead of the show, I think there was like a Talking Dead, where they were previewing the season or episode. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it yet.
Me either.
I know after the episode aired, when we were at Nick and Norman's, like this little behind the scenes thing came on that for like 20, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Talking Dead, but I don't know. I didn't stick around to see if there was a Talking Dead too.
It kind of broke down the episode for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Norman was on it, right? Am I right or wrong? I think I'm right.
He was in there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We better not get into too many spoilers, though.
I'm talking about the Talking Dead, not the Walking Dead. Now, I'm not sacrilegious, so I didn't watch that.
Looks like Maria said Angela King, Norman, and the guy who plays Mercer.
Sir.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to like him.
Big.
I'm going to shut up. Y'all can talk all you want.
No. Full spoilers? We talking full spoilers for Jimmy? I'm just kidding.
No, not quite yet. Dawn's already tried to ruin it for me. It's okay. She told me, she's like, oh my God, you need to know that. I'm like, shut up, Dawn. Shut up. No, we're good. No, I was going to watch it with all the normal fans. I'm going to watch it next week. So, yeah. Well, this coming up week.
I have AMC Plus. I paid for it, so I'm watching it.
That's what we call the ritzy fans right there. The ritzy ones.
We're the
ritzy fans. That's right.
Yep. I try to stay on par. Now, we agreed the other week, I thought anyway, we weren't going to watch it, but apparently only one agreed to that was me and Dustin, and Dawn was like, the hell with you.
I didn't hear that going in.
It's all good. Well, it was something between me and Dustin, and then Dustin evidently called Dawn and told her he was going to divorce her, and she went through with the divorce apparently.
She signed the papers.
Yeah. So we're gonna see who gets all the Walking Dead merchandise, I guess, instead of the kids.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely not gonna spoil anything. We'll save it for next week.
There we go.
Hey, let me ask y'all something though. We just watched this episode, and I did a trivia question about it at Nick and Norman's, and I was so surprised at the people that got it wrong. So it was name two. I think it was name two of the four people that called Rick on the phone at the prison. Was my question, and almost everybody put Shane in there. He wasn't one of them, was he? No, that's what I thought.
No,
I mean I marked them wrong, so I hope he wasn't, but I was pretty sure it was Jim, Amy, What? Lori and who was the other one?
Jackie.
Jackie. There you go.
Jackie.
Yep.
Been funny at Shane though. He's like, "That's my baby." Just letting you know.
Well,
The results are in.
Yeah.
everybody answering him, and I was like tripping. I was like thinking, wait, did I miss like a part or something when we rewatched it?
Yep.
Yeah, the fans are on it. The listeners are on it. They're all posting it.
Oh yeah, they're the true fans.
I'm just kind of upset. I never got invited to Dustin and Dawn's wedding. I didn't know when they're getting divorced. I had no idea. I'm just saying. I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Dustin called you and said, "You getting divorced for real?"
He sent me a message because I told him I watched it. He actually posted it in the group, The Walking Dead Freaking Amazing. He said, "Are you serious?" He goes, "We're getting a divorce." And then I said, "Sorry, the temptation was just too much for me to bear." And he said I was going to go to hell because I sent him the link to watch it.
Well, you try to. I agree with him. You shouldn't have watched it before us. We should have talked to Casey, but Steven had to do it, so I understand that.
And like I said, I don't remember Jack, man. To be honest with you, I had to ask Monica like what all happened when we were having a little bit of technical difficulties, and I was in the back trying to get them straight.
Right.
I got you.
We'll watch it.
So go ahead.
I got to see some cool stuff in Sonoya this past weekend, though. Did you see my pictures?
Yeah, I did see
the pictures, man.
The vehicles and everything.
Yeah, the vehicles are pretty badass. I got to admit it.
Those are crazy looking.
Yeah, I know that one had extra like Jeeper Creepers vibes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Mad Max.
Was that like a coffin? Was that like a coffin on that wagon?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that had to, I don't know if it was heading to set, but it had to have been. I mean, they were getting everything ready. I know. It doesn't look like it would fit in with the show, but then again, those vehicles don't either. And it was heading toward, you know what I mean? Alexandria. It was heading right in front of McMaster's there.
Right.
And then it looked like it turned down Jen, but I don't know for sure. I mean, but it looked like it was heading there.
Right. Hey, Linda, welcome.
Linda.
Hey.
Hello, cool, sweet. I like that.
There you go.
I like it.
So what episodes were we supposed to go over this week? Which two?
Made to Suffer and Suicide King.
Good episodes.
Mm-hmm. So let's go over that real quick. Miss Dawn, lead us off.
You always make me go first.
Automatic. It's automatic.
I know. Well, we get the introduction to Tyrese and Sasha in this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
in comic book terms, that'd be a first appearance.
Yep.
Anybody else want to help me here? I got to read some of my notes.
I didn't take no notes this time, but
the governor.
Yeah, the governor. Lots of good scenes with the governor.
Yeah.
He talks about his plans. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry for him. Did you kind of feel sorry for him when he was with Penny? At all?
No,
like a little bit?
A little. It's creepy as it is. A little.
Yeah, I did a little because it reminded me of Herschel and the farm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Except he's actually touching her.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, at least Herschel was putting them away and knew you couldn't brush their hair. Yeah, that was weird.
And the aquarium of heads.
Yes, love that scene. In fact.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've got several little collectibles all around that scene too. I got the Build-A-Set and the little
in the back.
light up paperweight.
I got the DVD of season 3
set thing.
Yeah, I got it sitting right over here if you want to see it. But
man,
you got to see my white legs if I get up, and I don't want to see all that. You might blind somebody.
That's there you go. The only one. He's got that too.
There you go. There you go. Look at you.
I want that one. That's about the only one I ain't got.
Cool.
That's actually becoming really cheap now, to be honest with you.
The
season 7 ones are really expensive. Go ahead and cut that bad boy on.
Don't it light up?
It does if you hit the number 3. But if your batteries have been in and they started corroding, that's a different subject.
That's why I couldn't find it, because the 3 was stuck. So I think the batteries are dead.
Yeah, but it's so. Do we know the walkers in there? I thought one of them was Moses and the other was Tashay, right? But I'm not sure. I don't.
In the
Yeah, he took their heads.
Okay, yeah, I think that's who was in there.
Mhm.
But I don't know who the other 3 were, because there's 5 in there total.
Either.
Yeah.
And
Were
this
there
has
people
been-
that disagreed with him?
Mm-hmm. And this is where Rick's group went in to save Maggie and Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is where you finally see the other side of Sonoy. Like they go in table talk right there.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh,
when
the
they
next
first storm
block?
it. Yeah, you don't hardly ever see
Yeah.
that section of Sonoy.
Is this the same episode that had Heinz Ward in it?
I don't know.
Ooh, I
'Cause
don't know what episode he was in.
Heinz Ward was in the episode because I didn't watch these episodes, just to let you know. So, like, when they're leaving the arena, he's the walker that comes up to them right as they leave the arena.
Then
That's
probably.
the next one.
Might be next episode.
That's the next one.
It's when they're in front of the veranda. It's where Heinz Ward actually was shown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't never do my homework, Jennifer. I'm sorry. I'm always bad. I forget. I clean my truck out all day today.
And this is also where Rick sees Shane again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And-
yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like Wolverine so much in that shot
Yes.
with the beard and the hair.
Mm-hmm. And the scene that I like the most is where Michonne was waiting on the governor to return when she has
I do got to answer one of the questions. I am wearing pants. I got shorts on. I don't like short. Oh, okay, I'll prove it. Hold on. See, they're short. They're short. You ain't seeing my white legs. Okay, you might
Take a
blind some damn
screenshot.
buddy. Well,
Thanks for the screenshot.
it is what it is. Appreciate you. You nasty bastard. Nasty bastard.
Y'all can see more than that on his OnlyFans.
Right?
Only special Patreons can get the OnlyFans. I thought Dustin's the one that had the OnlyFans. I took mine down. It's too much. I couldn't handle it no more.
What was that dude? Daryl Bixon. Whatever happened to?
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah.
Long time ago. That wasn't even a month.
I don't even know who that was.
I don't either. It still hadn't came out. But from this episode, one of my favorite lines, man, is when old Lou Temple's like, he's like, well, Maggie's with Glenn and you're a lesbian talking to Carol.
Yes.
You got a short hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That's funny.
Didn't Axel take Carol up to the same place Glenn and Maggie were doing their thing? Hey, because I remember when Carl asked where he was, he's like, he's up in the little lookout tower.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Did
don't
they
remember-
ever?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that episode, they asked where Axel and Carol was. And he said up in the watchtower.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Go back and watch it, Steven.
I know, but do you think they meant it that way, or that they were up there keeping
Just
watch?
for-
Hey, I'm just saying Axel probably laid it down. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, when I first watched it, I kind of thought that's where they were going to take it. I thought that they were, you know what I mean?
I thought that was where they were gonna take it to, and it just didn't go anywhere. But I was
Right.
kind of hoping for that because she did have the short hair. You know how that sexy that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question. I think I read this somewhere. I'm not for sure. I asked Steven because he's read the comics. Isn't this where they were going to decide they were going to make Axel like kill Beth and like rape her or something in the series? I read that somewhere.
No, there's a character. Axel's really cool in the comics. I don't think it ever comes down to anything like that. There's this one guy that's with him. I forgot his name. Oh no, it was Thomas. It was Thomas. But
Right.
and he was like a rapist and a killer, and he did some things at the prison. He
got one of the kids, right?
He got two of the kids. They were twins,
that's right,
I think.
I thought they were like making out or something. He attacked them.
No. They killed themselves. One of them killed themselves. The ones that were making out. Yeah. He said he was going to cut their hair or something, and it goes sideways from there.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go that way. I really am glad they didn't go that way.
I know.
But Axel in the comics, he was around for a while. I'm rereading them now. I'm about to the same spot we're at, so I don't know, Dawn. I hadn't got to that part yet with the deluxe color.
I don't know if I read it like in the writers, they decided they were thinking about doing that, and then they didn't do it because it would be too dark or something.
Maybe they were going to give him the role that Thomas character was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's where Andrea in the comics, Andrea's like signature look is that scar on her face.
Right.
And that's where she got that scar from that guy.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
And that's I think that's one of the first times Rick in the comic just flat out kills somebody that like hadn't been. He had a rule, we don't kill, and he pretty much abandoned it at that point. He was that's when he, realized that some people you got to put down.
Right.
Now, that's a good reason to do it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep. I'm kind of glad the show didn't go in that direction, though. I know they kind of went
dark.
Yeah.
Right.
They kind of went that way with Carl.
You're right. I was just
just
about to say that. Yeah, later on.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, we're getting sidetracked, but we still got a while. We're just at 17 minutes, but that's one of my favorite scenes is when Rick rescues Carl from the Claimers.
Bites that dude's throat out.
Yeah, dude, I talk about that all the time on tours. I'm like that scene, like. When I watched it, I was just like, did he really just like what's going on in this? You know what I mean? But it wasn't like one of those things where you're like, that's too much, or
you would
know
do
what
it.
I mean?
That is a proper response.
Mm-hmm. If it was my son and I didn't have no hands or legs to get to somebody, I'm biting whatever off I got to.
That is a proper response. Yep.
Do we have to know where that location is?
Crooks Road.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's another thing I noticed in these episodes, man. I never noticed before. I want to go through and count how many times they used Crook Road. It popped up so many times for different roads in these two episodes we watched, for this show. And I mean, I've seen it pop up in places that I never noticed before. I'd like to go through and count. I bet that has to be the most used location ever.
It's got to be, man. It's used for so much.
Any road, any back road, they almost any back road. They most time they just pick that and use different angles. They'll throw a little hay on the road. They'll throw a little dirt on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that flare walker when they were running towards they first got Aaron. That flare walker got hit in the eye with a flare. That was on Crook Road too. He ran off the road and ran into the woods right there, same spot.
Well, it seems like when I watched these episodes, I hadn't been over to Crook Road yet, so I don't think I ever really noticed it before. But we're rewatching all these episodes. I'm like, dang, man, if I need to go through and count every time they used it because it's a lot.
Well, you remember when they first got Abraham and Tara was talking to Abraham about you really enjoy killing, right?
Yeah.
And they had the balloon on that sign.
Mm-hmm.
And it said Crook Road on it. That road they filmed at was not Crook Road. That was actually in Noonan. They paid homage to Crook Road through that sign and the balloon on the show.
Gotcha.
So I can actually take you to that location because there's a trash like little place where people take their trash across the street. You can plainly see in the background of that. It's actually across the street, the same railroad tracks they had Glenn in Noonan around the same place.
Oh, okay.
I take you down there, Stephen. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Nice.
For sure.
Yep. So, what else we got going on in this episode?
Lots of good shots of Woodbury.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the pit.
The pit.
The pit, right? Wasn't the pit in there where they get more walkers?
The Walker pit?
Yeah.
What? Dawn should know. She's actually would have done the homework.
Was that? I think that was in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, second one. Okay.
It's so funny how they make that pit seem like it's right there in Sonoy, though.
Mm-hmm.
That pit was in Turin, right?
No, the pit's in Noonan.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that pit. We're talking about different. I'm talking about a different pit. Then I was talking about
pit. Yeah,
I was talking about the arena.
No, the arena's in Noonan, but the Walker pit was in Turin. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never saw that pit in Turin.
Me neither.
It's back in the woods. Like if you go to Turin, where I guess is where Lillian ran off at. The little daughter ran away, and the governor like caught her right there. If you look to the left, there's a big open field. And the only reason I know it was down there was the day they brought that tank in. We watched them take it back there to actually go to the Walker pit. And it's to the left right there when you first get on that road and turn. That cross street from that old church right there. So when you're going through turn, you see the church on the left across the road tracks. It's the same left right there. I can't remember the name of the road, but there's a church right there. I think it's the Church of Turin or something.
Gotcha.
Not sure. Yeah, I think it's
I'm
a
not
Baptist
too
church.
familiar with Turin. Is Turin down by Gay?
Do what now?
What was you
I'm
saying,
sorry.
Dawn?
Yeah,
I said, Jimmy, did we go there? Isn't that where we? I thought you took me there. Okay.
No, you cannot get there unless you own the property. Like you can ride by the property, but you cannot get on the property. No, it is a bull pasture. When I say bulls, I mean really, it's really bulls. You don't go out there and mess around. So like if you go out there, good luck to you. So it's an old pasture. Is all it is. And they dug that out and put a tank there, and then put the RV there as well that they were living in. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Jennifer Dobbs was saying that the guy that Rick bit his artery out is now on General Hospital.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that comment.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Isn't that guy that was at Chris's shop during the camp?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, I met him 2 or 3 times. He was at the camp last, not this past one, but the one before that. And I met him at Comic-Con in 2015. That dude can sing, like no joke. He can really sing.
I know. Yeah, he really can.
That's
that dude can sing, man. He can sing really good. So you walk up to his table and give him $1, he'll sing. He'll sing anything you want him to. Mm-hmm. Just throw it out there at anybody.
I remember him being at Walker Stalker Con doing that, and I was surprised. I was like, "Holy crap, he really can sing."
He's good at it. Yeah, no joke. But
doesn't Michonne kill Penny?
Yes.
Yeah. She stabbed in the eye, poking it out real hard.
Yeah. That's right. It's where he loses his eye too.
Yeah, poking it out real hard.
That's when he becomes the governor with the patch.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So Don, when you seen the governor get his eyeball, what was you thinking about? What did you
seen him what?
Lose his eye?
I mean, I didn't feel sorry for him. I mean, he was trying to kill Michonne.
Right. He's lucky to be alive.
He is. If it wasn't for Andrea, he wouldn't have lived. Michonne was going to kill him.
My question to y'all is, since all three of y'all are parents, just like I am, if you seen, even though your daughter is a zombie, if you seen this woman come in there and try to kill your daughter, even though she was already dead technically, would you be upset and try to kill her too?
I would have never get to that point. If my son, I would look at it like he was suffering and sick. Yeah. And I would have to take, I mean, I hate to even say this, but I'd have to put him, put him out. Yeah.
What about you, Casey?
Yeah, I don't think personally, I'm with Steven. I don't think I personally would get to that point, but I mean, if you're twisted and that's how you view it, I can understand why somebody would.
Well, let me put it in another angle. Then. If you didn't have any, if all your family was killed and that's all you had left, what you done? What the governor did?
Well, we're also answering this having no kind of apocalypse experience, so you never know. You know what I mean? Right. I guess if I were to lose it like that and have him around or have my kid around like that, I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. What about you, Dawn?
I think being a mother, it's a little bit different.
You would have had that kid in the cage too, wouldn't you? Yeah, that kid in the cage too, wouldn't you?
No, it wasn't that I would have it in a cage. I mean, eventually I'd put it out of its misery. But I think in the beginning, in the early stages, you would want to keep them alive because you would think they would be a cure, something would happen, or
that is true. Back in these days, not everybody. I mean, everybody wasn't convinced there was nothing they could do about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like Herschel.
And honestly, I think the governor had Milton around to help his daughter, not actually to help any fucking body else.
Yes,
I think that's the reason why he's around.
That is the difference between the governor and Herschel, then, because Herschel just had him in a farm. You know, the governor did have a scientist, like you said. So
I think he thought he had a cure for it if he just kept working.
Yeah,
that's the reason why he was so upset when his daughter did die, and that's the reason why he went after Michonne. That's why I always liked the governor, because he was if anything, I can say this. This is the reason why I like the governor. He was a good dad if he wasn't anything else. To be honest.
Yeah.
That's why I always had sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Everybody just thought I liked the bad guy, but I didn't. I just thought I had sympathy for him.
It wasn't easy for him losing Denise Huth. That's so crazy seeing her picture all the time in that family portrait.
Yeah, he had just
lost
his wife.
That's
his wife too.
That's his wife. Yeah, explain who Denise Huth is, because I don't think a lot of people know that, just regular fans. Steven,
I mean, she's kind of just a one-woman show. She kind of does a little bit of everything. I guess you would kind of consider her a showrunner.
Mm-hmm. She executive producer? Or?
She's executive producer. She's been around forever.
She's written, I think, and directed too. I think she's done just about everything.
She's everything Walking Dead, that's for sure. But a lot of people don't know about her. The core fans, of course, the hardcore fans do, but the core fans don't. And I just kind of wanted to make sure that we get Denise out there, because I mean,
she's one of the only ones that's been around since the beginning.
Yeah.
Her, Nicotero, and
Nicotero, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her and Nicotero. That's been pretty much about it. And, besides the main cast of the first couple of people on there, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but she posed for the pictures. If everybody didn't know it, in the comments and stuff, she posed for the pictures with the governor as his wife. So all the little pictures you saw, that was Denise Huth.
That's funny.
Was the kid anybody? Was that the real kid that played the Walker? Does anybody know?
Ooh, I'd have to look at the picture.
I can't remember. Was it Kylie? Kylie Samansky? Was it her?
I don't know.
That's who played her, but I'd have to see the picture again to see if it was the same girl.
I wonder if y'all can Google that real quick when we throw it up on the screen just to see it.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, go ahead and Google it.
You got it. You got it there, Casey.
I'm gonna pull it up. You guys keep talking. I'll try to find it.
It's all good. So I kind of side with Don there. I don't know if I could let my kid go. I really don't. That's the only thing you had left of her, and maybe there'll be a cure later on. So yeah, I would try to hold on as much as I could. Therefore, I would be upset with Michonne.
Let me ask you this: when they're pitching a fit, and this is grown too, when they're a walker, but would you feed them? Would you go get humans to feed them?
I wouldn't go get humans. Now, I would find other food sources. If they were starving per se, like they said they were earlier on, decaying, I thought they'd be decayed by now, but evidently not. I don't know. I think that I would definitely go find something. Well, chickens and rabbits and stuff like that. Stuff is plentiful, I guess. That is Kylie Samansky right there in that picture.
It is her. Yep. I wanted to show everybody.
That is Kylie. Yep, that is Kylie. So, yeah, definitely was Denise and Kylie. Yep.
That's cool.
That's very cool. So, yeah, I hadn't seen Kylie Samansky in years now, but I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, she used to do all those signings, I remember, with you guys, but I haven't heard from her.
Her mother passed away, and ever since then I haven't seen her anymore. I'm not sure what's going on. I know family's taking care of her, maybe her father. I really don't know.
Oh man.
But she used to do walker signings with us back when we were doing them. And we did that all the way, I want to say, to 2015 or 16. Don't really remember, but it's been a while.
Well, let me ask you this. We were just talking about it, kind of. Do y'all think walkers can starve to death? I never thought so. I thought that it was just always a hunger that if they didn't have it, you know what I mean? They weren't alive anyway, so they wouldn't like die.
Well, this is what I always heard. Now, y'all can fill in the blanks, but I heard they were decaying over time. If they didn't eat and stuff, they would die.
Oh,
but
okay.
Go ahead and answer y'all's version of it, Casey.
I thought that if they were eaten, they would still decay as time went by, just like just wearing themselves out, getting older anyway. But I always assumed that they could live, without having to eat humans or eat flesh. But that was just kind of like a drug addict. You know what I mean? They have to have it.
I was kind of wondering. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, you come across them in cars sometimes, and they kind of just are there sleeping.
Yeah,
and I would think if no one ever opened that door and they couldn't eat, they eventually would, rot away. So in that sense, they would. Right, I would think at some point they would decompose to nothing because they've gradually decomposed over the years, over the seasons.
I mean, it's basically a walking dead body, so.
Right. I always thought to myself, if you just let them decompose and nobody else turned into a walker, would they just die off at that point?
I think that's kind of where the story might go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I remember. I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember them saying something about the Walking Dead. The banner of the Walking Dead was decaying over time.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why last couple of years, it ain't really decayed that much. I mean, it really hasn't.
I think
it has now.
Well, I mean, it was. I don't think it was doing it as drastic because they got to the point where if they decayed it anymore, there wasn't going to be much left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was just gradual, like the last few seasons.
Yeah.
It's like crumbling down now.
Thanks for the spoiler, Don. We love you, though.
I'll tell you what I miss, though. I miss those live action credits, man.
Yeah, I don't like the credits now. I don't care for it.
Just the credits before they were animated.
I'd rather have the buildings and stuff, to be honest with you.
I like the buildings and locations, yeah.
Well, before you would it was kind of like before you would watch an episode, you would see all these places, and some of them were from the past, and it's like, oh yeah, and I don't know. I like it much better.
Do y'all think the reason why the opening credits made the locations even bigger than they were?
Some of them, like the Way With You All would have been big anyway, but you had Harrelson, the female.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it made the locations actually a thing to do because it was on there, and I think that's where it started from.
Yeah,
and I remember the first person I seen was actually crazy about the locations more so than me was freaking Casey. Boy, he was he was out there, boy. He's like, let's go do this. I'm like, okay, let's go.
I showed up at Harrelson before it was a thing.
Yeah, Casey all over it.
I wish we would have all met up back then because I was doing the same thing. Right? We must have just missed each other at all these different spots.
Casey had me like, show me this. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But guys, if you think about it, guys, what TV series did you ever watch that you got to see all these locations that wasn't actually in a studio?
Oh yeah,
and in Georgia, that's what drew me to the comics and the show. It took place in Georgia.
Same, because I've been to like Universal Studios Hollywood, and I've always loved backlot tours and all that, and I love behind the scenes. I never thought I'd be able to see a set or drive to a location, So it was just because it was season 3 is when I found out it was filmed in Sonoy. And that weekend, I mean, I was up there.
That was about the same time I did. And we take it for granted. You know what I mean? We take it for granted. And I know I do doing the tours. I take it way for granted because I had a guest this weekend or a group, and they were like, they'd never been. And they were like so amazed to see these, houses and buildings. Of course, they were amazed to see Alexandria, but even the ones from the past, like the Pudding House and the Claimer House.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were so excited and taking pictures. And I'm like, man, I remember when I used to be like that, That
first, oh yeah. Yeah. I'll take that back. The first time I went was, I went to a Hawks Lakers game, me and my brother-in-law. It was like around December. And so we went to Atlanta, and then on the way back home, I was like, hey man, you mind stopping by Sonoy? He's like, where the hell's that? I was like, dude, just trust me, you'll like this, because he watched the show with me. He wasn't as big as a fan as I was at the time, but yeah, so we took a side tour on the way home, and that was my first trip to Sonoy.
I totally take it for granted because I'm here all the time.
Yeah, man, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can ride to the grocery store and see the arena. It's everywhere. And like I don't know if you know, Casey, but the hospital where Beth died is literally not even a tenth of a mile away from my house.
Oh wow, I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, I literally remember I used to work for the high school, so like I was there all the time.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, explain that story, by the way. Let's go into detail about that story. The first time I showed you the high school.
Oh, you talking about at the
Yeah, explain everything.
The first time you showed me, we didn't get to go inside just yet, but we were just walking around the building.
Yeah, just explain both of it.
Yeah, we went to the football field, just kind of looked around. But I remember you getting in trouble because they looked at the security cameras.
And well, they're like,
why you were at school at the weekend?
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't get in trouble for being at school on the weekend. I got in trouble because I had keys to the place. I got in trouble because they're like, "Who's this guy with you? Who is this?" And I'm like, "It's my boy Casey." And they're like, "Why do you have him out here?" I'm like, "Because he likes Walking Dead." They're like, "Okay, well, don't do that no more." And then
I don't think you ever told me it was my fault.
It's okay. It's no big deal. But like, I don't work there anymore anyway, so I can talk about it now. But like, I want to say the next time was at the premiere party for season 4, and Casey's like, "Hey, dude, you didn't take me inside last time, and they ain't gonna say nothing." I was like, "I got in trouble last time. What the hell? Let's shoot." So yeah, I got in trouble again, but it's cool. I got in trouble. Truthfully, I got in trouble really big that night. The reason why was because they were during the premiere party. I was supposed to be watching everybody, and you can't watch 1,000 people. You just can't do it. I had another custodian with me, and I had another guy with me at work there, and there was 3 of us on campus that night. And I know who did this. I got a feeling I know who did this, and I'll explain to you off the air. But I'm not going to throw out any names on here. But they found a huge pile of beer cans on campus. And I got, like, this is your thing. We know you do the Walking Dead stuff. We seen that, I was in a magazine one time for it. They're like, we know it was your fault. I'm like, I don't even drink beer. And they're like, it don't matter. You like Walking Dead. It's your fault. I was like, I guess I'll take it, whatever. And I had to go out there and clean all that beer up and stuff. I was mad. I know who did it. Like I said, I know who did it. I ain't pointing no elbows, but it's all good. But I took Casey around the school. I showed him the old gym, the front door where they had the chains up, all that stuff. I showed him every bit of it, and that was cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's a famous picture with Shane. He's got the shotgun. He's against a big fence line, and that's actually Noonan High School's baseball field. Atlanta Movie Tours never showed it, but when they're running with Otis and stuff, they shut down that whole school that night. I worked that night, and they shut it down. I remember they used downstairs to do a San Diego Comic-Con commercial. They had Norman down there, Stephen Yoon, Shane. The only person they didn't use was Otis for that, advertisement. But they would walk to the 9th grade building. They had walkers coming out the doors and stuff. That was back in 2012 or 13. That was for season 2, and then also they had the full reign of the football field and everything. So they were all over the place filming. Yeah, they only showed the baseball field, and they only showed like running up and down the runways and walkways and stuff.
Right. It was mostly those stairs. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
I used to show it on my tours with Atlanta Movie Tours, but I never used a script. I don't know if it was in the script, but we didn't go by when I started at Atlanta Movie Tours. We didn't go by Noonan High School unless there was like a road closure that prevented us from another location because it was kind of, I don't know, they had a specific route. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we rarely went by there.
Now, Jimmy, with the tornado that damaged the school. Is the gym going to be redone or?
The old gym where Shane jumped out the window at, we don't know. that building got moved. I want to say almost a foot off the foundation.
Right, that's crazy.
And they got big beams holding that building up right now, so it's still up in the air. They only brought the 11th and 12th graders back to actually go to that school because the rest of the school's totally messed up still. So everybody else is going to the CEC, which is across the county. But as far as my son, he's going to the school. They're using the ninth grade building and two of the other buildings. That massive building's in front where Shane and Otis ran through. It's messed up. It don't have a roof to it. And the other building, the gym and the library and the band room, all that stuff, and the 300 building. I think 300 building ain't there anymore. It's another building now, but all that stuff is non-usable right now.
Man,
they're still working on it, and you can still remember all the massive trees that were out front of the campus. All of them got taken out. Like every tree that was there is gone.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, it was a pretty big tornado. But on the brighter side of things, people got their houses knocked down, but it was really weird because one house, nothing was wrong with it, nothing got touched. Next house, gone.
That's how it was here in Ringgold when we had that big tornado years ago. It came through Ringgold. I think it killed like 10 people, and it was the same thing. Like my mom's neighborhood, there would be a house across the street completely demolished, and then a house right by that was fine.
Yeah, it was crazy that night. I remember it, but it's kind of off subject. But that's one of the biggest things that happened in our city in a while, and it's still people are still a little nervous. Even though there's a hurricane coming up, we're all getting a little nervous about it. So I mean, it is what it is. But the house, that all can be replaced in that location. At least you got to visit it if it does get taken down. So
right, I'll have to post those pictures.
Oh yeah, post them in the group, man. That's a pretty cool location. Not many people get to see it, so cool. Don, I can't take you there. I ain't even took Dustin there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can take you around outside of it, but I can't take you in the building.
Oh, it's our special place.
It's our special place. It's in my heart forever.
I want to know what was really on that videotape. If you got in that much trouble, what was y'all doing in there?
Honestly, nothing. The school was very private. And there's a principal. I'm not going to say his name. I almost did, but he is really. He didn't even like me doing anything with The Walking Dead. I got in a lot of trouble back then because I was doing tours on my own time. Right. He didn't want me doing anything because I was representing the school. So I'll be honest with you, I kind of left that job to do tours full time because how are you going to tell me to not do something on my off time that I enjoy? You're not going to tell me that. So I just kind of went on and did my own thing and made my own money. So, and I made a lot more money than I would doing back then anyway. I made a lot more money than I would doing custodial work anyway. So it is what it is.
So what about the second episode?
Suicide King.
I think that had one of the productions in a scene. I thought it had one of the best opening scenes of an episode.
Okay.
Now, what was the opening scene of this one? I had like a million things going on. I was watching, but what happened in the opening scene?
That's when Merle and Daryl was
in the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I speak about that? Because I was there the night they filmed. That was my very first stalking area. Okay, so me and the one that shall not be named went up there.
She shall not be named.
Yeah, we actually went up there and we were watching him shoot that, and they had this is the night that they started firing upon the buildings, like firing off the top of them.
It's crazy.
And there was smoke coming up from everywhere, and you can hear people screaming down there. And of course, we can't see what's going on inside this arena, and we didn't know what the hell it was, but we knew it was Walking Dead. But Chris was up there that night. Michael Koski was up there. We actually seen Mike, but I knew who he was. And we actually met Andrea that night. I think Don seen a picture on my Facebook that I posted the other day.
Oh, cool.
And to be honest with you, that back then I was scared to even talk to him. I just was watching. Like, I didn't talk to him. I didn't take pictures with him. I didn't do any of that. I was just kind of like, no, I'm going to stay over here. I'm good. So it was like, it was cool as hell to watch that, and to be the first Walking Dead experience to have that big of scene, it was cool, man.
Right, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I want to go there. I haven't been there.
Oh, you haven't been there?
See it right now.
I used to be able to take. I used to have a key to it. I used to be able to take people in there with Atlanta movie tours.
Can't
but
do it no more.
No,
It's overgrown, man. It's really bad.
They said it probably is. It became dangerous in there. There were people that were going in there and partying at night, and like you never knew what you were going to find in that little pit. So they said they were, like I said, I think I said this on the last episode, but they were saying they were going to renovate it into like a old timey marketplace, but I never saw anything come of it.
Well, the bad thing about that is some of the roof is gone now.
A tornado.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the other night when me and Dustin was out there doing a live thing, he was trying to find a way in there. Good thing he didn't, but he really was. I was like, I don't think that's a great idea. He goes, that's what always messing up my fun. I'm like, shut up, Baker.
Right. Man, I hate to hear we're losing these locations, man.
I know.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but it's still up right now. You just can't see in there.
I got a feeling they'll tear it down probably soon, because I mean the last few times I went in it looked like it was about to blow over. I don't think any productions would want to use it anymore because of the insurance liabilities.
Right. Yeah. The parking lot is above, so you're looking down into the arena, but there's this fence and it's just overgrown with vegetation. You just can't see in.
I used to go out there every now and then and clip it back to where we could get back to
Did you really
go down those steep stairs? Yeah.
Oh, on the right, yeah.
Bring your weed eater. We need to do it again, to be honest with you.
Man,
you can't see anything, man. You really can't.
Just cut a hole. Just cut a hole so you can see it.
Yeah, it's crazy. People's been in there putting graffiti all over the walls on the inside too.
Oh yeah.
It's bad.
Well, we would always find new liquor bottles. Like I said, people would go down there and just party. I heard there was people sleeping there, like homeless people. And
we do got a really bad homeless population down here now. It's like Dustin. We was on live the other night. He was shining his light under the bridge. I'm like, you might not want to do that, Doc. He goes, why? I said, there's probably somebody sleeping down there. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing. The homeless population is kind of getting bad now, and a lot of them, they get help and they still don't. They would rather be homeless. So I don't get it, but it's just the way it's getting. It's becoming mini Atlanta in a lot of ways, unfortunately. Go ahead, Don. I know you got something to say. You've been quiet.
Well, no, I'm just letting you talk. I was just going to shout out Colin. He's in this episode, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. We saw him. Yeah. He was in there. It's weird, though, because his character's there for focus for like a whole scene kind of, and then he disappears, or it's not the whole scene. He's there for like, I'm have to ask him about if he couldn't make it the rest of the days or something, because he's there for like half the scene and then he just disappears. Like he's no longer where he was. He's just gone.
Yeah.
Oh man. Chris Thompson's a walker.
Oh, he was one in this one?
Yeah,
we saw Nicotero. We saw Nicotero again too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the main two walkers, was Koski and Chris and Nicotero. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of funny we know all the walkers of that one because they, usually we don't at least know one, but we know all of them this thing, yeah.
Yep.
Do you all think in this episode, because this is the episode that Daryl leaves Rick to go with Merle, do you think at the end of that episode where Rick kind of loses it again with Tyrese and Sasha and tells them to leave and sees Lori, do you think it's because of the loss of Daryl?
I think he's just still struggling with Lori being gone. Yeah. And I mean, that may have kicked it off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would do if I was Daryl either in that situation. I mean, that is.
I know that's hard.
That's blood, even though you don't like them. You know what I mean?
Right. It's family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. The whole dynamic of Merle being there and being okay with all that stuff going on would kind of get to me.
Well, hell, he was an instigator too. He wasn't just okay with it. He was like starting a lot of the shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't function in that situation.
But Daryl didn't know that at that point, really either. He
No.
didn't know how bad Merle had been. You know.
Yeah.
No.
Well, at that point, I think he was just still glad he seen his brother back, even though he had his little badass arm. You know.
Right.
Like, where the hell did you get that shit from?
I just know when I watched it the first time, I was like, I can't believe Daryl's leaving.
Right.
I thought he was going to leave and go off with Merle somewhere and go be with the governor.
Well, until we started rewatching these episodes, I never realized how much of a liar and manipulator that Merle was. Merle. I mean, he lied to the governor. He lied to a bunch. Like, he would just lie to manipulate.
Merle was looking out for Merle.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think he was just trying to make it no matter where he was.
And that Daryl even says that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he say that? Merle's just looking out for Merle.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Anyway, we got quiet there for a second. I was checking the comments.
I was looking at the chats. Make sure
I was too.
Yeah, I actually was too. I was about to fall asleep too. On top of that, what you got? I'm just playing. I just threw it out there. Yep.
Do you think at this episode at the end that Andrea was seeing the light a little bit because she was like trying to stop the fight between Daryl and Merle, and she was trying to help Daryl, and she just seen Penny? And what do you think?
I think Andrea is just trying to find normalcy. I think if she would have seen the governor doing something with Maggie, she wouldn't even question it at that point. I think she was, in her mind, she was one way, and when she started seeing it the other way after the season started progressing, I think she kind of woke up to it. But I just think she, in her mind, she's like, just let it go. It's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of that though was just like she didn't want to see it either.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She didn't want to know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She was just put the blinders on, right?
Right. You didn't see her asking too many questions or looking around for him when he was somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
No, you're right.
She didn't want to know what went on behind the scenes.
Yeah, she didn't push it. Because even
another thing,
the floodgates open in that episode because she sees Penny.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But what was you saying, Dawn?
I was going to say, another thing I noticed in this episode where I didn't notice before is like how big they made the governor, like how tall, like he was like overlooking everybody. Like all the men were really short. Like he was this big character, big personality.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he like towered over all the men, and you know he's only 6'2". I mean, I know that's tall, but the men were all like shorter.
You know, now that you say that, I'm starting to think about all the times they would put him like on the porch above everybody, or
that was to make him look
above everybody. And probably just to give that impression that he was in charge too. He was, he was above everybody else, like Casey was just saying. Because a lot of shots that I'll pull up on, Google, he's always on some kind of, like I said, the porch of the town hall or some kind of something that makes him look big.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, because I was gonna say I met him, got a picture with him, and I remember him being taller than me, but I mean. You say he's 6'2". I'm only like 5'7", so he was tall to me.
Yeah, I think he's pretty tall. I think he's pretty tall.
I'm only 5'8". I don't think it takes much to be taller than me and you anyway.
I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
He ain't as tall as me, cool, but I think he's tall.
Yeah, he was a cool dude to meet. Oh
yeah, I got him beat. The only one that I've met that comes close is Ryan Hurst. Me and Ryan Hurst are about the same height.
Okay.
Now I think from what he told me, they made him wear combat boots with extra soles, so he would look even taller than what he is on the show. But they did the same thing with Jesus because he was so short. If you ever go back and look at his boots, them things got soles on them this big.
I need boots like that.
I think he was a wasted character anyway. They didn't give him anything like they did in the comics.
Yes, he's one of my favorites in the comics.
He's awesome in the comics.
Yeah. And they did him justice as far as the character wise. They just didn't give him enough spotlight.
Yeah, I felt like they failed him in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was a badass in the books.
Yep.
Are we going to do the new episode Monday, or are we going to go on with the next 2 episodes?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and continue with the new episode, and then we'll do one of the other episodes. That way we're still covering it. Okay. Is that cool with y'all?
Yeah.
Cool with the fam?
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good with me too.
That'll work. Yep. Episode 10.
Yup.
Jason says that David Morrissey was a better governor than the comic one. Yeah, the comic one was brutal.
Yeah.
I'll do the homework. I'm sorry. Homework. I'm getting called out.
Pull Jason's comment back up. So what do y'all think about that?
Y'all should read that Rick Grimes 2000 because no spoilers really, but they're bringing back dead bodies from the past, and like the governor's one of them, and it's freaking awesome.
Oh, cool! I ordered all 5. So
sweet.
I got all 5 of them, but I'm afraid to mess them up, so I've left them.
Right?
Oh, you got to read them, man. You got to read them.
I'm still trying to wait to find number 1.
Well, we got a bunch of number 1s down here at the comic book next side of me. I mean,
you got any local comic shops, Dawn?
That's where I went. They were sold out of number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they got like a ton of them over here.
I ordered mine online, Midtown Comics.
Oh, Midtown Comics. I've been there one time.
Did you? Oh, I'd love to go there.
It was pretty sweet.
I want to go there one day.
Times Square.
So what do you guys think? You guys think David Morrissey's governor was better or the comic one was better?
I like Morrissey's version better, but I'm not a really big comic fan anyway. So,
well, being a comic fan, I like the comic book version better just because it was more brutal and it gave you a more sense of wanting to get that revenge on him. Somebody getting that revenge on him because he was such an asshole and such a way worse in the show. You know what I mean? But not that I didn't like David Morrissey or his governor either. I'm just saying, I think I'll always pick the comics. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got a soft spot for the comics.
What about you, Don?
I have not read the comics, so I don't know, but I did. Okay. I know I did read an article with him, and he said he really had to go to a dark place to be the governor. But he did read the comics.
Well, I was about to say, all he had to do was read those comics, and it'd take him to a dark place like that, man.
Yeah, it's real dark. Yeah, because I like the comics. I'm like Steven. I like the comics better. Just I love comics in general. But yeah, for the comic though, just the ratings I guess are just different with TV because like the comic is dark and sadistic, and you know what I mean. He does a lot more worse things in the comic, but I love what Morrissey did with the character. Like, because I was nervous, when they were bringing the governor to the TV show, because I was like, with this show not being on HBO, I was like, how are they even remotely, do the governor justice? But I think Morrissey did it in his own way, and and just made him more manipulative and that charismatic, the charisma he brings to the character. So
that's what I was about to say. That storyline wouldn't work with his the show anyway. It wouldn't play with his version of the governor. Like you couldn't do it. I don't think.
Right, you couldn't show it on AMC. I mean, to make it work like the comic. So Morrissey did awesome.
And I don't think his character was meant to be that bad, as bad as the comic one. You know what I mean? Like, we could sympathize. You couldn't sympathize with the comic version.
No, exactly.
There was no sympathizing.
Right. And that's right. And that's what Morrissey, that just shows what an amazing actor he is. Because you're right. As sadistic as that character is in the comic, I actually rooted for the governor on the show at times.
And you bring up a good point, guys. It's like The Walking Dead does good in a zombie apocalypse. Even the bad guys, they show the human side of them.
Right.
The humanity. They do have some. It might be a little twisted, but they do show it.
Right. And that's just what makes the comic and the show so good, because, you know, like people who don't know it and you're trying to explain it to them, you know, first reaction to somebody new is always like, oh, I don't like zombies, or oh, I don't like scary, I don't like horror. In fact, that was my wife and my daughter. But when they started watching the show with me, and, you know, we went on locations and stuff, they were more interested in watching the show. And then once they started watching, they saw that it's more about the characters, you know, it's more about the group, the survivors, the dynamics, the, you know, interactions with other people.
And I do want to tell people, if you're a huge fan of the show and you haven't given the comics a try, it's totally worth it. I would maybe wait until this season ends and then go pick up the comics and read them all the way through. They have an ending, you know what I mean? And it's a totally different experience.
Yep. That's a good point.
Same characters, you know, same characteristics too, but it's a whole different, I mean, it's just totally spun a different way and different things happen, so you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
That's why I kind of recommend reading them after the show ends, because I know when I was reading them, you know, when I read them when it came out new, I would get confused because I'm watching the show and reading the comics, and like, wait, didn't this happen? No, that happened in the comics. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I read up to the Commonwealth and I stopped because since the show is the Commonwealth, so I'll catch up on the end after.
I just about said something about the new episode.
Man. Oh, no, it's all right.
My time.
Oh, I know, right?
I said I almost did. I almost dropped something there.
No.
All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. Y'all got anything else to say?
No, right, I can't wait for everyone to see the episode. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Let's do the sponsors real quick. Walking Dead Harrelson, Water Tower Tour, Auto Rats Plus, The Camp, of course, Abraham's Army, Survive the Night, Zombography with old Danielle over there, Walking Dead Horror Nation. Walking Dead fans are amazing. Also, Patreons, got Miss Dawn, Mr. Casey, hold on, Christy, of course, Jeff, and Miss Linda.
Thank you, guys.
Love you
so much.
Hey, if you come to the viewing parties, I'm hosting them this year, and me and the wife are hosting them, me and Miss Sweet. So y'all, there's still tickets available for some of the ones throughout the middle. Y'all come down and see us.
Nice.
Can I come crash it?
Sure. I ain't gonna let you in, but I mean, if you crash it.
I'm trying to get a date in October to head up there, Steven. So.
Oh, they're giving away sweet pins too. Little collector pins, and it's not just the ones they put on the Facebook page. There's all different kinds. Like there's all.
My question is it the Dr. Pepper sweet or is it you? I really want to know.
What the pins?
Yeah, you said the sweet pins. I'm like, I got to have either the Dr. Pepper sweet or you.
Not affiliated with this sweet. They're sweet looking. They're cool pins.
I got to mess with you, man. All right, guys. Until next time, we love you. See you.
Night, y'all.
Night.